Back with us now, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon. He was with former President Trump at the border yesterday. You know, Texas Governor Greg Abbott raised an interesting point. It's great to see you, by the way. The governor said that Vice President Kamala Harris is missing the point. Kamala Harris is talking about an overselling as a fix to the border. The root causes in Central America when the governor says illegal border crossers are pouring in from 147 other countries from around the world. What do you say to that?
Well, I agree with Governor Abbott, Liz, and thanks for having me on again, because when you incentivize anything, you're going to get more of it. And the Biden administration, this has gone from a Biden border crisis to a Biden border catastrophe because they're incentivizing people to come to this country illegally. And I mean, this has to stop. And the Northern Triangle has 34.5 million people, and a lot of the illegals that we see crossing now are from that area. But as you just mentioned, nearly every country in the world has some people sneaking into the border, sneaking across the border right now.
Yeah, and they're getting smuggled in by human traffickers as well, and that's a danger for them too. Let's watch Governor Abbott on this. Watch this.
She is misleading America, because the fact of the matter is there are people coming into the United States across our border from more than 150 countries across the entire globe. If she solves a problem in those three countries, which we know she can't, it means there's still more than 147 other countries to go to solve problems there. They're missing the point. There's one place to solve all the problems on the border, and that is on the border. And that's exactly where the Biden administration needs to devote their resources to get the job done.
Did you hear the last point that he made? You can't be looking at root causes in nearly 150 countries around the world to solve all those root causes. He's saying, the governor's saying, you got to stop it at the border.
No, Liz, amen. There's billions of people that want to come to this country, and we want them. We can't fit them all, so we want the folks to come legally, the ones that we can fit, not illegally. I mean, you can't have one person cross the Canadian border legally right now, but the Biden administration will look the other way when we have literally hundreds of thousands and nearly 1 million people already this year that have crossed illegally. And as far as root causes go, Kamala Harris, yeah, she said that climate change was a root cause. And again, I would agree. It was the climate that changed at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue on the 20th of January, because Biden is putting America last when President Trump was putting America first.
Let's talk about the humanitarian problems. Death is a near daily occurrence at the border. We talk to Border Patrol all the time. We have illegal crossings hitting a 20-year high. Human traffickers, drug cartels control major sections of the border. In Texas, I hate to say this, it's graphic. They're literally pulling migrants' bodies out of rivers, lakes, finding people passed away in the desert, along highways. Across the southwestern border, you see people being thrown out of vehicles by human traffickers because the human traffickers are trying to evade capture. So this is systemic criminality at the border. It's a humanitarian crisis. It's a systemic humanitarian crisis. Go ahead.
An open border, Liz, is an immoral border. 30% of the women that migrate from southern Mexico and Central America that reach this country report being either raped or sexually assaulted along the journey. Mexico, let's be very straight and clear with the American people. Mexico is a failed narco state. We just had 9 people murdered across from Roma, Texas, just recently. And then in Zacatecas, there were 18 people killed, their bodies mutilated so badly that, I hate to say this, but their organs were liquefied and pouring into the streets. In Reynosa, 15 people, the Gulf Cartel just randomly murdered 15 innocent people to send a message of terror to the Mexican populace as a whole. The Mexican drug cartels are controlling our southern border, not our federal government, and that is the crime, and that is the gross and egregious dereliction of duty of Joe Biden.
So, yeah, it's systemic crime at the border. So border towns inside the U.S., just right across the border, are on the front lines of a major drug cartel war that we haven't seen in 15 years. As you point out, Mexican soldiers finding dead bodies piled up from this war. You've got 10 seconds. Final word.
Well, there were 50 people have gone missing. 50 Mexican nationals have gone missing driving from Monterrey to Nuevo Laredo just this year, and that's one of that reason alone we should be securing the border.
Got it. Congressman Pat Fallon, thanks for joining us.